A sports car is a small, usually two-seater, two-door automobile designed for spirited performance and nimble handling. Sports cars may be Spartan or luxurious, but high maneuverability and minimum weight are requisite. Early history. The basis for the sports car is traced to the early 20th century touring cars and roadsters. These raced in early rallies, such as the Herkimer Cup, Prinz-Heinrich-Fatt, and Monte Carlo. Though the term sports car would not be coined until after World War I, the first sports cars are considered to be the 3-litre 1910 Prince Henry Vauxhall 20 HP and the 27/80 picosecond Austro-Daimler designed by Ferdinand Porsche. These would shortly be joined by the French DFP and the Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost. In the US, where the type was variously called Roadster, Speedster, Runabout, or Raceabout, there was Apperson, Kissel, Marion, Midland, National, Overland, Stoddard Dayton, and Thomas among small models, while Chadwick, Mercer, Stuss, and Simplex were among large models. In 1921, Ballot premiered its 2LS, with a remarkable 75 HP DOHC 2-litre, designed by Ernest Henry, capable of 150 km/h. At most, 100 were built in 4 years. This was followed by the SOHC 2LT and 2LTS. The same year, Benz built a supercharged 28/95 picosecond 4 for the Copper Florio. Max Sailor 1. Simpson in 1924 offered a Paul Hens-designed 60 HP DOHC 2-litre 4, the Simpson Supra Type S, in a long wheelbase 120 km/h Tourer and 115 km/h twin carburetor Sporter. Only 30 were sold, against around 300 of the SOHC model and 750 of the Pushrod 6-type Adoa Solar blown 2-litre in 1924, as well. There was a clear cleavage by 1925. As 4-seaters were more profitable, 2-seaters increasingly turned over to specialist manufacturers, led by Alvis, Aston Martin, and Frazer-Nash, with shoestring budgets, fanatic followers, and limited sales. Between 1921 and 1939, 350 Astons were built. 323 Frazer-Nashes in the period 1924–39. By the end of the 1920s, AC produced a 2-litre 6, the 3.5-litre Nazaro had a 3-valve OHC, while French makers Amilcar, Bignan, Hispano-Suiza, and Samson had the typical small 4-cylinder Sporters and Delage, Hotchkiss, and Chinad Walker the large Tourers. Benz introduced the powerful SS and SSK, and Alfa Romeo, the Vittorio Jano-designed 6C. Two companies would offer the first really reliable sports cars, Austin with the 7 and Morris garages with the Midget. The 7 would quickly be rodded by numerous companies, including Bassett and Ingle. In 1928, a Cosette blower was fitted to the 7 Super Sports, while Cecil Kimber fitted an 847cc minor engine, and sold more midgets in the first year than MG's entire previous production. Layout. The drivetrain and engine layout significantly influences the handling characteristics of an automobile, and is crucially important in the design of a sports car. The front engine, rear-wheel drive layout is common to sports cars of any era and has survived longer in sports cars than in mainstream automobiles. Examples include the Caterham 7, Mazda MX-5, and the Chevrolet Corvette. More specifically, many such sports cars have a FMR layout, with the center of mass of the engine between the front axle and the firewall. In search of improved handling and weight distribution, other layouts are sometimes used. The RMR layout is commonly found only in sports cars. The motor is center-mounted in the chassis, and powers only the rear wheels. Some high-performance sports car manufacturers, such as Ferrari and Lamborghini, have preferred this layout. Porsche is one of the few remaining manufacturers using the rear-engine, rear-wheel drive layout. The motor's distributed weight across the wheels, in a Porsche 911, provides excellent traction, but the significant mass behind the rear wheels makes it more prone to oversteer in some situations. Porsche has continuously refined the design and in recent years added electronic driving aids to counteract these inherent design shortcomings. The front engine, front-wheel drive layout which is the most common in sport compacts and hot hatches, and cars in general, is not generally used for sports cars. This layout is advantageous for small, light, lower-power sports cars, as it avoids the extra weight, increased transmission power loss, and packaging problems of a long drive shaft and longitudinal engine of FR vehicles. However, its conservative handling effect, particularly understeer, and the fact that many drivers believe rear-wheel drive is a more desirable layout for a sports car count against it. The Fiat Barchetta, Saab Sunnet and Berkeley cars are sports cars with this layout. Before the 1980s, few sports cars used four-wheel drive, which had traditionally added a lot of weight. Although not a sports car, the Audi Quattro proved its worth in rallying. With its improvement in traction, particularly in adverse weather conditions, four-wheel drive is no longer uncommon in high-powered sports cars, for example Porsche, Lamborghini, and the Bugatti Veyron. Seating. Some sports cars have small back seats that are really only suitable for luggage or small children. Such a configuration is often referred to as a 2+2. The more typical seating arrangement is 2 seats. Over the years, some manufacturers of sports cars have sought to increase the practicality of their vehicles by increasing the seating room. One method is to place the driver's seat in the center of the car, which allows 2 full-sized passenger seats on each side and slightly behind the driver. The arrangement was originally considered for the Lamborghini Miura, but abandoned as impractical because of the difficulty for the driver to enter-exit the vehicle. McLaren used the design in their F1. Another British manufacturer, TVR, took a different approach in their Cerbera model. The interior was designed in such a way that the dashboard on the passenger side swept toward the front of the car, which allowed the passenger to sit farther forward than the driver. This gave the rear seat passenger extra room and made the arrangement suitable for 3 adult passengers and 1 child seated behind the driver. The arrangement has been referred to by the company as a 3+1. Some Matra sports cars even had 3 seats squeezed next to each other. Terminology. A car may be a sporting automobile without being a sports car. Performance modifications of regular, production cars, such as sport compacts, sports sedans, muscle cars, hot hatches and the like, generally are not considered sports cars, yet share traits common to sports cars. They are sometimes called sports cars for marketing purposes, for increased advertising and promotional purposes. Performance cars of various configurations are grouped as sports and grand tourer cars or, occasionally, as performance cars. See also. References. External links: Mitani, Sam. Best all-around sports car. Road and Track. Archived from the original on February 13, 2007. Retrieved August 16, 2014. Engine Bleak, Jean-François. Lemaire, Jean. What is a sports car? ASTIN Bulletin 18. Retrieved August 16, 2014. Donovan, Sandra. Sports Cars. Lerner Publications. ISBN A0-8225-5928-5. Retrieved August 16, 2014. A.